unboxing. But since it's here, we're going to unbox it. And also, uh-oh, my magnet, look at that, my magnets are stuck. And at some point in time, I'm going to get these mailed to you, Jay. There's your magnets. I just haven't, I got to get an envelope and a stamp and then swing by the post office. Might do it tomorrow. Anyway, luckily for us, the post office stops by and drops off mail to your house. And I bought this reel, I don't know, probably a month after I bought this Curado BFS that I've been waiting to get in, and the other lingual variant. So thank you, TJ, for shipping way faster than China. And let's see what we got here. Now, if you guys follow the channel, you'll know what reel this is. It's definitely not a Curado BFS. If it is, I'll be very upset. But it is a Shimano BFS. Did I get another Aldebaran? Did I get a Conquest? Who was paying attention? Man, that knife's getting dull. And there it is. So one of those tests you guys see on Facebook. You can read it upside down and mixed up. Calcutta Conquest BFS HG. The reel you knew I just had to get right. No, some of you probably didn't see it coming. All right. Get that out of the way. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. Now, this is not new. It has lightly been used or heavily been used. Which is it? Now, I've had a few of the other, this feels nice and it's definitely padded and all that, but the old school, the gold Calcutta Conquest came with that cool looking, it really wasn't that great, but it looked cooler and it had a nice look to it, the old brown like leather or imitation leather deal. So I think we get the same thing that you would get. It looks like the magnets, the extra ones. It looks like he's only got one in there maybe. No, there's two magnets. So I'll look into more on that. Both of the oils are still there, not even opened, it doesn't look like. You know me, I'll probably open them. So, I have never seen one of these in person. I had the old gold ones, both of them, the shallow and the other ones, but I have yet to hold one of these in my hands, just like the Curado. Now, I was up at Rogers Sporting Goods, that's my other package I got to do, and they had a Curado MGL, and I think that's the same, so I got my hands on it. But let's take a look at this. Oh boy. And hopefully we're coming in clear. I have found out that the reason stuff's getting a little funky and sometimes blurry is because my I went over my limit on my cell phone deal, so my service can be slow at times, is why last few videos have been a little funky. Wow. Oh my goodness. That thing. Them older Curados, look at that clicker. Them older Calcutta Conquests were not this smooth. That right there may be the smoothest reel I've ever felt. If you followed the channel for a couple years, you remember I had the, oh shoot, Metanium, the 2015-16, whatever, the real bright silver one that is brighter than this guy. I had it, and at the time, and it's supposed to have aluminum gears, I felt it was the smoothest reel that I'd maybe ever felt. This beats it for sure. So, the $200 rod that I'm waiting on that's lost, I think it's lost in the same container with the Curado BFS, is where this reel may end up being on. This is kind of one of those, will it do anything better than these? Is it better than this one? No. But is it just a cooler? This is like your hot rod. This is like the old 57 Ford, 68 Camaro. You may be able to get something that'll go faster down the drag strip than it, but there's nothing cooler than having that old one out there still getting it done, right? Even though this reel's only a couple years old, the technology and the round reel things, they just go way back. They're like old school. And it really doesn't get any better than this one. unless they come out with the newer version of the new Curado, or the new, I keep calling this Curado, the newest Conquest out now. They went back to gold, which I'm not sure. I'm still up in the air. I think I kind of like the silver. You can add a little gold, and all gold with some red didn't look bad either. Yeah, I got a Calcutta Conquest. And TJ, he showed me in the pics. I'm not going to tell you how much I gave for this, but I got a deal on it. It's got a few little scuffs. If you really look, it's got a few scuffs. It's kind of like this guy. If you really look at this guy, it's got a few scuffs. This is not new. None of my stuff's new. Will be sold as new. Once I get it, trust me, I'm using it. I might scratch it here and there, do whatever. Now, I have dropped a few, and I hopefully will not drop this thing. It actually does feel heavier, but not as heavy as you would think it would feel. When you look at this and you know it's all aluminum, you're going to think you're picking up something heavy. It's not that heavy. It's not that bad. It is not anywhere near this light, but I've been around this thing so long, this thing starts to feel heavy on this side just because all the stuff's over here and this part's so light. Kind of feels a little weird, but crazy light. I guess crazy heavy for BFS nowadays. And then you got these reels are all kind of somewhere in between, but none of them feel that bad. And oh yeah, if you watch the unboxing and I slapped these parts on, the spool and the drag star, I didn't realize that does fit. That you can get the drag star and the spool tension adjustment cap for $16, and it will fit. Now, I don't know if you can make it out. I'll try to hold it still long enough. For some reason, mine, that has like a dull finish, same color, but this is like polished up looking, and that's dull looking. So I just stuck it on, seeing that it fit, and I left it. I probably need to, I guess, like polish it up so it match even better. But I think it looks good. Any of you that don't know, the whole zero drag spool tension thing, that's all just like I don't know, it's just like marketing. It's still the regular thing. You can go in there, it does the same thing as any of these others. Some of them click, this one should. And some of them don't, this one doesn't. But whether it says it's a zero adjuster or whatever, they're all do the same thing. They put just a touch, either take out the play or put just the slightest little touch of tension. And that's the way I like all mine. Like I've talked about it, 2 gram or less. If you're fishing 1.5 gram, use a 1.5 gram bait, and you want it to just fall and maybe unwind once or twice, but you don't want to completely free spool. I don't anyway. That's how I set mine. And if you're a new beginner, you're going to want it a little bit tighter just to make it that much easier in casting, starting out. Or if you just get a spool, say like we fixed the Black Knight 2s, right? You guys know the deals with them and the magnets. Like me, I think the real test he had a couple things going for him. One, he was using heavier line. I used braid. He was using regular line. 2, I think he had this looser than me, so I could fish this without doing the magnet upgrade, and I had no issues. And part of it was, I think, in just how I set my reels and the fact I used braid. But anyway, what else was I going to talk about? Let's just admire my new reels. We're going to get to this guy in a minute. Newest thing since sliced bread or just a funky, I don't know, disaster. We'll find out. Now, you know me. I'm looking at this going, first thing I'm going to do is that handle and those knobs are coming off. Now, I won't cut them or none of that. I will put it right in the box. And I'm curious to see, because that's kind of a dark, it matches. I've got this one that hasn't fit on anything yet. I wonder if that'll fit. It looks like it'll fit. It looks like the same thing. So I may just slap it on there just to give it's a little bit more of a silver. So I may put that on, whichever handle I end up. You guys can admit it. I think I like it. Do I want to put it on the C double? Nope. Do I want to put it on the Zephyr? No. I'm actually wanting it for that the Corium You guys know the one I'm talking about. I've talked about it in videos before. So I already have, and I can't remember where AliExpress tracking shows it. I already have the spool like this one coming. It's already on the way. When I made the deal, bought this, however many days ago, I jumped on and I bought like $53 or $4. I bought the spool for it, and it's coming. I think that's all I think that's about all you can buy for this. I don't think you can get, I already had this. I just bought this because it was like 19 bucks. So, yeah. I can't say that I'm excited to fish it because I know how it should perform. You know, it should be close to this guy. If you watch the real test when he did the little shoot out there within a couple foot of each other, this one's a touch heavier, different line guide. It isn't quite as good as that, so it's going to be slightly under what this was. And then when I even add the spool, it's probably still, it's just under that, but it's just a cool factor. And I'm curious to see how it feels when I palm. Let me do that right now. Hang on. Hang on. Don't go anywhere. Let me find a rod here. Hang on. I found a couple. Just to see. Now I grabbed this one because it was closer, but this 522 and my 661 have the same reel seat. So I just want to put it on this one. And it can one. Basically how it is right now, it'd be a perfect fit for the 661 and its capabilities and what it would do. So yeah, very comfortable. Very not big. It's bigger. It probably feels close to like that. It actually feels like something's missing because it's not quite the same shape. It's just like it was on when the other ones I had. I'm pretty sure that's what they did. People don't talk about it. You've heard them talk about how they do that in order to make this palming side smaller. But I'm pretty sure what they did when this series came out, not just the BFS, all of the Conquest, what they did was they took the old, more or less the old sizes. So when they named this one, this is 100, and they didn't come out with the 50. So a lot of guys were technically upset, but what they did was that's the 50 size roughly, and then that's roughly the old 100 size. And then they went up like that. So they had the 100 side plate, roughly that size is now on the 200, 300, 400, etc. You could basically go down the size of how they're going to palm. Now, if the new ones stuck with that and they just look a little different, I'm not sure, but that's the way I understood it when these first came out. So if you've seen the old ones that are like the 50, and then there's a 50S, which the shallow spool version, they should palm just like this BFS Calcutta Conquest. So if you get an old one that's 100, it's going to palm bigger than this, and probably the newer ones. So if like you run across one, you see one on eBay, oh, there's an old gold 100, it's going to feel bigger and physically be a little bigger, because this side will be that big, but the other side will too. Does that make sense? So definitely going to be good. As far as the palming, shouldn't be an issue. I just wanted to try it on this one. Maybe, yeah, I don't know, maybe too much weight, because this rod isn't the lightest in the world for being a ultralight or light. And then with that reel, it's almost like you feel like you've got a regular bait caster in your hand as opposed to a BFS one. But it looks good. I bet that would work good too. We'll have to see. as of right now, if I didn't have any intentions of putting a lighter spool to get it on basically an ultralight rod, I would probably throw this on the 661 and call it a day. Use it for shaky heads and, the like 4 to 6, 8, 10 gram cranks, stuff like that. All right, so if you have any questions about this, ask away. We're going to talk about a few other things. Brew Tank Outdoors says, F it, I'm ordering one. They're very nice reels. Now, will they be coming out real quickly with because they've already got the newer Curado out. And I just saw somebody was posting that they haven't shown hardly any pictures. There's a 22 version of the Aldebaran BFS coming out, but it looks like the same reel. The little thing they show like this, I don't know if they're showing pics of the same reel, so it'll be different or what, but kind of waiting on that. The newest Calcutta Conquests are out and they're gold, but they don't have a BFS version. I don't know if they're going to plan on changing that or what could be or is any better than what this reel already is. Definitely feels good. Okay, let's go on to something else with the reels, and then we're going to look at my other stuff I got. Haven't even tried it yet. Let's talk about what I have tried. I'm going to put that back in the box. I did get out with this guy. If you guys remember this, we're going from, what are these new, like $4.50, $4.20, whatever new, to $30. And actually, I was quoting this wrong. I got this for like $30 or $31, but when it's on sale, it's like a $30 reel or $35. If you guys can tell, I helped the drag, but I didn't like make it perfect. It's a little catchier than most of my other ones, almost all my other ones, but it's better than it was. I took it apart and I did a little work. The reason it feels heavy is because it's got brass gears, and I believe this shaft is brass. It's not aluminum. And so that's where the heft comes in. If they would have made both those aluminum, this would be a very light reel. Definitely a copy. I was looking again at and I actually just came from Rogers Sporting Goods and was holding a Metanium in my hand. This is a direct copy of a Metanium that is nowhere near the quality of a Metanium. Not saying it ain't bad for $30, but it's not even close to a Shimano. It's probably not quite even to Abu Garcia Black Max quality. I'm not saying it's far off, but it's probably not even that quality. That's got a few things, if you guys remember right. So I'm not really recommending this one yet. I did go out and cast it. It cast fine. I probably can't make it make the noise, but hang on. No, it won't make it now. Every once in a while, I cast out, and when I reel it in, I could feel it making a clunk. And if you remember right, I called this one, had a rod knocking in the video. It made that sound. And I'm not sure what that is. This one, I think it was because this button wasn't going all the way up. It was in the clutch system, so I don't know if that's what I'm hearing in this. But, hang on. I can't make it do it. Anyway, as free and easy as the clutch already feels, I did wipe this down. This feels better, but it still doesn't feel... I'd like it to be a little bit stiffer. I may need to do something there. What other issue? Well, I kind of fixed them. It still ain't perfect, but it should be a good functioning reel. I'm using 15-pound test. The drag doesn't need to be as important as a... it still wouldn't hurt if it was, but it's not as technical as, say, you're running 4, 6, or 8-pound line if it doesn't start up as smooth. I tend to run a little looser drag than normal anyway. But it casts fine. I mean, it seems like it's good. I've only ran it up to there. I don't plan on putting any more line. That's a ton of braid I had to stick on there. And for what I was doing, I threw it on a 13 fishing rod, that 6'7" medium, which is more like a medium heavy, pretty stout rod. Throwing just I don't know, probably wasn't even quite half-ounce bait, and it flings it no problem as far as casts as you'll want to make. I didn't do any cast testing as far as, full on. I don't really have anywhere I can cast it would definitely, if I wanted to, I would have hit the neighbor's house in any direction I cast. So I didn't go that crazy. But if you don't know about this, the Hunt House, $30 with the drag clicker. It's hard to tell you not to buy it, but honestly, before I probably buy another one of those, I will just up my money and buy one of these. So speaking of this, let's look at what I made. Now, this is the first one in history that I know of. If you guys have seen one, I don't know, possibly an ocean reel maybe, or something bigger round reel. I've made what I've talked about doing for several years. It's been on my mind. Ever since I did the single lifestyle, this popped up as like, well, why don't I just make one shorter and try that? So if you remember right, in the unboxing video, I basically just used that hole and I bought some of those posts. And I haven't fine-tuned it. This is just a rough, I just cut it, grind it down, sanded it, and I haven't even what I would technically need to do is completely de-anodize this whole handle, do way better work of smoothing that out and then polishing it all up, and it would look good. This is just a rough mock-up, kind of. I made it. I just stuck these on, but this one's kind of a little bit bigger fill and this one's smaller. So for those of you that don't know what I talked about, what you basically have here is a means of normal fishing with, say, 90 millimeters, and then having a way to speed reel stuff in with the 70 millimeter, all in one handle. So the issue will be, if we get out and casting, just like with the single lifestyle, will that, can you engage the clutch, which so far just here with this reel I can't. But then just how does it feel when you're out there fishing it? So far, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be an issue. And I actually, the more I spin this thing, I've always liked shorter handles. Once you get longer, it feels like you got to do this way more than you, feels natural to me anyway. I definitely don't like anything over, I use 80 and 85. Once you get into 90, which this one is, or 95, it feels too big. It feels like I'm going too far. I'm working my hand too much to accomplish what can be done right here. Because every bait made that I throw anyway, now if you were some of the 10XDs and that kind of stuff, then yeah. So that's my theory is, say if you got a 100 millimeter out here and a 70 here, you can be doing your whatever cranking, or once you set a hook on a fish, you can be powering them in with this. But say you make a cast and you're way off, or something, the bait you can tell got hung up or whatever, instead of with that 100 millimeter, you're out there, trying to crank it in fast, but it's this long handle. You just jump in there with this guy, get your bait back in, do your thing, and then get back to fishing. So I'm just going to try it. I made one. I'm not making any more until I decide if I like it. You never know. If you see a lot more popping up, you'll realize or understand that I like it, and I'll start putting it on more of mine. But I kind of like just a single lifestyle anyway. And it definitely it wouldn't be for everything you want. It would just be for those, say if you're anything you're going to have crazy long cast that you may want to bring the bait back in, or if you're a guy that likes to throw way out, stay way out from a bank, throw way up to the bank, but the first 5 or 10 feet is all you're fishing, then you're going to want to bring it back in, then something like this. Actually, there could be a spot for it, I think anyway, but we're going to try it out. Heck, I guess I could put it on this guy. Try it out. I'm still up in the air on finding a way. Here's my thoughts on making the weight exactly the same. I need to track one down because they do make them, and I think I've got some floating around here somewhere. I think this may be one. Some of these, the knobs, the housing, the frame are plastic. So on the long one, I want to make as light as possible, but I want it bigger. I want it more like a power style. And then the short one, leave one of these aluminums. They're bigger, they're heavier, but make it a smaller knob. So where you don't have to really look down, you can just kind of grab. And you can kind of tell now just by one's shorter. So while you're out fishing, you won't have to, which one's short, which one's long. And it would just feel natural once you're using it for a while. So that's the plans on that. As far as I know, I'm the first to do it. I'm the first to do this for sure on little bitty reels. It's not anything new. I watched them doing it on, there's all kinds of reels that have a single hand, like but they're more round reel, the stuff, bigger reels, but I don't know. I was like, why not? If you don't know that story, I've talked about it several times. I'm just trying to get an Alphas or a Pixie as light as the older Aldebarans. And that was just a product that stuck with me, and I stuck with it after I tried it. You definitely don't want to take the line guides out. I tried that too. Trust me. I've tried to take as much stuff off as you can, and technically you can. I know it sounds stupid, but technically you don't need the line guide. You don't need, I know it's going to sound dumb, you don't need the anti-reverse roller bearing and a lot of the other bearings. You just need a few bushings. You'd be surprised if you really made one just a bare bones to cast out a bait and reel the bait back in. You want the drag still, because you want a means for the drag to slip or whatever, but technically, I mean, you could make it direct drive and then back pedal without the anti-reverse, all that kind of stuff. This is kind of going back to like a fly fishing type deal. Like a fly reel is a very simple design, the early fly reels. Like some of them are getting high tech nowadays, they've got drags and all that. But anyway, we're not going that far. We're nowhere near there yet. But I want to talk real quick about, and then I'm going to end this video. I'm going to move some of these reels around. And I am getting too many reels. I've said it several times. I'm not a collector. So once I've gone through this crazy, I bought a lot, I'm going to be selling stuff. No, nothing you're looking at right now, probably. But as much as I like the old Daiwas and I bought the Alphazito AI, I'm probably going to sell that. And if nobody like on the channel or nobody on a couple of the forums I'm on, on Facebook, say they want it, it's probably going right to eBay. The Alphazito AI, I'm keeping this Aldebaran, I'm keeping this one and the Curado when it comes in. But the other two Aldebarans, they're probably going bye-bye. The 30 HG, or it's an HG, but the 30 MGL, this guy right here will be going bye-bye. It's just a Aldebaran 50 and just a regular. So it's like, what was that, 6 something to 1? It'll be going bye-bye. Possibly this guy will be going bye-bye. Because I still have Curado BFS. I've got a similar one to this. I've got the Turquoise Fox, which is going to be parts switched out with this, but then it's going to be turned into the Silver Fox, and that's probably what's going on the 13 fishing rod. This, I don't know yet. It's going to have to grow on me a little more, otherwise it's going to go bye-bye. The Cast King Zephyr, it's probably going bye-bye. I was going to give it for the kids and keep it, but I'm probably going to sell it. I'm thinking I'll end up getting the kids one of these. I'll probably get rid of the bigger, probably going to get rid of the bigger Black Knight too, and then just get Noah one of these, or give him one of those and then get me another one. And then most of my stuff, in all honesty, right at the moment, is going to be the lingual variant type things will be my bigger stuff, because I like these reels. So it makes sense to order a couple more of those, and then I do have like backup parts kind of thing. Like all my reels or the bulk of them are the same. So I've already got 2 linguals. This variant, what will be the Silver Fox, the Turquoise Fox, so that's 4. So if I get any more just regular ones instead of stuff like this, I'd be better off to have, I think, just like this guy, the MK9. I'll probably buy one more of these for sure. This is a good reel. For you guys, if you're wanting true BFS type stuff, the lingual overall from AliExpress. But if you're wanting that all-around reel, it comes with that spool like this, capable of throwing and doing some BFS, but then comes with that deeper spool capable of doing anything you do with the regular bait caster. That is hard to beat for $75. It's just hard to beat. Got a funky handle, if you guys remember in that video. So let's get out of here for the moment and talk about baits real quick. And you guys, I was up at Rogers Sporting Goods. I got lucky. I ran up. I just went to get two things, and of course, you know, you go up to get two things and you spend 30, 50 bucks or whatever. So this isn't what I went to get, but I picked up some more of the, and I couldn't remember what bugs I had, but the TRD bugs are awesome baits. And I don't remember if I had the deal or not, so I got another pack because that is a good color. The deal, sometimes it's the deal. The June bug color, which I don't know if I've ever bought these in June bug. Maybe I got them. Who knows? A lot of times I'll buy stuff and then I pull out my tackle box, dig through, and like, oh, I already had 2 packs of those. They'll get used eventually. And then the Bomba bug. These are the bang sticks, and a lot of times if I don't see it up there, or maybe they don't make it, or I don't know, I'll get them in the bang sticks because I kind of use these. And then I don't know if I've ever tried this color, black blue flake blue. It is very, very close to a version of the purple haze, except it doesn't have the belly to it, but it does have 2 colors. It's got like a dark, dark belly, then a lighter belly, which is like close to what the purple haze starts out. So that should be a good color on certain types of water. Same thing with the Bomba bug. They're all right there in that range, right? So then I got one more pack of, what did I get? Oh, yeah, the Bomba bug in the bugs and the bang sticks. Because I don't know, I think I bought these before, but I don't think I've ever tried a Bomba bug in the zinkers or the bang sticks. But very good colors. And so I'm going to take one of these out before I show you these other baits I got. Which one do I want to show you? We might as well go with, let's just try a Bomba bug. Let me set these down. And I have no idea where these are going to fit in my tackle box. It is already, if you guys remember right, I got the igloo cooler type thing. That's where I keep my Z-Man stuff. Just to, in case when I get out in that hot sun, it won't melt for sure if it's in a cooler type thing. It is stuffed. I got to go through there. Some stuff's got to go. So let's just pull these out real quick. Oh, look, one's already decided he volunteered. So these are pretty little. If you guys know the regular size of... Now, I don't like the palmetto bugs. I've never had the luck with those. I like my Reaction Innovations. You guys know what I'm going to say? Sweet beaver. Why? Because you guessed it. It's just freaking sweet. But these guys, I'm finding out where I like them best is on the little micro chatterbaits. You just put that on a little micro chatterbait and it's game on, game over. But I have a couple things. I got some Ned rigs, right? You got some little Ned heads. You've got some little bitty, those, what they call them, flashback chatterbaits that are even smaller than the micros. Well, I wanted to up my game, or more or less, I guess, say, down my game on BFS. So I got, that is probably the smallest creature type bait I've thrown. I've thrown crappie jigs, other stuff, little stuff. But I realized that Lunker Hunt has these dudes, and I spotted them up at Rogers the last time I went up there. So this little thing right here is creature bait. It looks kind of like a micro version of a sweet beaver. And look at that little guy. That is, if you guys know how small the little TRD bugs are, and then look how much smaller you can get. Like, you're going insanely small. Like, you're going to put this probably on a regular, I don't know, crappie jig, I guess. Well, let's get, hang on. So, like, there's our trout magnet that's beat to death. But yeah, like, trout magnet-y size. Or just a regular, 16th ounce crappie jig. You could run that guy on the back of it, or put it on your, any of those, or like what I'm going to try to kind of more or less a Ned head, or I could actually flatten one of these if I want to where I drop it and I want it to, kind of have a little, just like what these do on bottom. So yeah, that, now I don't know. I may try it at some of the bigger places, but that is what I'm talking about for like the littlest little creeks and stream kind of thing. And I still have to get a box and separate all my stuff out for that because, and I'm gonna put a video together showing you guys that like these, well, they may hit the creeks and streams, but they're like for my BFS on regular water. You know, when it gets, bite gets tough, downsize a little bit, downsize my chatterbaits, go with that kind of thing. But then this is like on a whole nother level for the smaller little creeks and streams. Now I have a couple different bug type things coming from AliExpress. They'll be here in a month or so, maybe a couple weeks. And we're going to see what size those are. But that's the smallest thing I've seen that just looks like a sweet beaver. And I think I mean, I don't know why they wouldn't work. I don't know if you guys comment below if you've tried them before. I've never tried them. I didn't even know they existed until a couple weeks ago. I spotted them I guess I've seen them. And a lot of times you'll see something on the internet. And unless you really pay attention to what size they mean, you know, when they talk about them, it just looks like a creature bait. I didn't realize they were that friggin' small. Let me look at the comments here. Are you going with cork candles on the Conquest? I don't know. Let me move this. Uh-oh, let me put these guys up. The only downside to the lunker hunts, which they're only $4 for a bunch of them. And I only bought 2 packs. The pink ones are out everywhere, and Rogers didn't have, they have like a pink and white ones. I was going to get those for sure, but I've checked online. I can't find them. So I'll get those, but then I'm just going to try these. If they work, you know, then I'll stock up, get a few more packs or whatever. But I'm pretty sure that the wear factor won't be as much with it typically and with crappie type jigs. They're not big enough to go flopping off when the fish starts jumping and carrying on when you get a bite. So doesn't really technically have to be a last tech. Should last. We'll find out. Hopefully they may not get bit. They may last forever. You guys got any of those baits? They last forever because they just throw them out in the water and they never get hit. I've had a few. Will you stop it, cat? I got a cat down here getting rowdy. All right, well, let's just tear this apart. You know me and my hour-long videos. We're nowhere close to that. Hang on, let me do this first. Look out, baits. Let me put down, just like you were getting ready to eat, put down your napkin. Don't want to make a mess. Don't lose anything. Let's see if that'll, well, I'll try the little one, but if feel like I'm probably just going to lose the bite I got on it, I'll start with the bigger screwdriver. Let's get that off. A little bit of Loctite. Looks like they used red Loctite. I don't suggest red Loctite for anything. Blue Loctite, for those of you that were wondering. Oh my God, how hard is this to come off? Get off there. Get off there. Whoa, look out. That's a costly investment. I don't remember what I paid for this, but I just dropped it. And by the quality it's made, I don't think it can handle too many drops. Honestly, I need a bigger table, I think. So we got to use that nut. I don't think I have any more Shimano nuts. I'm running out of clear spots. And I really do not like that. They make that little bitty thread. I don't like that. I don't like anything about that. Not threads, but the little bitty spot for you to get a wrench on. Just so this will slide on and look cool to them anyway. I don't know. I don't think I've ever liked any of the Shimano handles. The one I just took off the Zillion actually looked pretty good, but so if you know the deal, I'm gonna try this real quick and we'll just see what it looks like. You gotta have that. Like, that's a Shimano spring. It's kind of a weird looking thing compared to normal spring. This should fit right on, right? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh my God. Did it leave a mark anywhere? I don't see a mark. This should, maybe not, fit right on. Let me make sure that's the same. I think it's the same thing. I think it's the same thing. It looks a little bit bigger. So we're going to put this on there. I don't know. Hang on. What handle? Let me look. I wasn't prepared. Find handle it'll go.
Oh my goodness, Ollie. What are you doing?
We don't have many pieces. Doing a live video.
Oh, good job.
Good deal. We got that one. This one. Let's see. What are you doing?
Is anybody here?
Yeah. I think Vanessa's here. I think. Don't quote me though. I just leave her. I don't know what's going on. So, I don't know. We got this one I could put on. Or do we want to go with carbon fiber? We actually probably want to go with, where is that one? Oh my gosh. Hang on. Don't worry, the time's counting, but we got time. Is this the one? I don't even know where the handle I just made is. Is that it? That's not it. I got this one still. I had plans to put, what did I do with it? Oh, I think it's this one. It's on the lingle. So, yeah, because I took this one off the lingle and put that one on it. Well, we'll just stick one on. You need this little thing. If you guys don't know, that's all it takes. You can get them on AliExpress. A little bitty adapter. You can put any of these handles off anything on. We're just going to put this guy right here. Now, you can do it either way. You can put the... Get this down. Hang on. Okay. It's a process. The round reel is harder to work with than a regular reel just because it's so much, there's more to grab around. Just slide it on like that. Now this is just a little mock-up. I don't know if I'm going to stick with this or not. Of that. Now that may be too much metal. I haven't decided yet. Haven't decided yet. We'll just stick it on to see. We'll need a probably a gold. If I can find one that fit. Oh my God, that won't fit. Not long enough. I guess we could put a red one. Nope, we want gold, right? I got these new ones. I thought I had another gold one. Or 500. So if we were going with gold, it's got that crazy bright gold on it right now. This one is probably not going to work, but we're going to try it. Come on. Come on, get out. And what do you know, it fits. So yeah, those ones that are dollar, that's a Daiwa. I don't remember which Daiwa that came off of. I think any of the, it was an 80 millimeter, some of the alphas and some of those had it. So yeah, right there. Already changed the looks of it, right? Got a little bit. That reel is just crazy smooth, crazy. Let's put it on this one. Just because it kind of has the fancier reel seat. All metal. We're going all full metal jacket here. Full metal jacket. I think it looks good. I think maybe carbon fiber may be better. And I'll just have to try it. And in true cork, like it needs to be something real nice because this is definitely my, at the moment, I just bought it. It's the most expensive BFS reel I have. The new, they cost more, and I think I gave more than I gave for that when I bought that. But anyway, yeah. So we're going, definitely I got a gold spool ordered, so we'll match up some gold, but then I'll have to decide, do I want carbon fiber or, probably want a thicker handle. Like if you look at this one, see how that's thin? That's too thin for this stocky look. Kind of, I'm using my bone tie thing. Like, you don't want a feminine looking tree, like you want the base of your trunk to be stout, kind of like a handle too. Like see how thick that is compared to that, the thickness? Like you want stout, like of course, this is a kind of, I know I hate to say it, it's an Aldebaran, but it's kind of got it's a small, lightweight, feminine kind of thing. So I got that skinny one on it, 80 millimeters. It's fine, but it also I have a big one on it too, and I mean it works with either one. But like this reel, it needs a thick, almost a power looking handle capable of more power. So that one, that part of it looks off. I know I'm getting into it too deep, going too deep. This rabbit hole has took a wrong turn at Albuquerque. I know. Watched too many Bugs Bunny reruns back when I was a kid. No, I'm not old enough to watch Bugs Bunny when it was first aired. I watched Bugs Bunny reruns. So this reel will look good on any of them for sure, just because it's got that high class look to it. So if I put it on something like this or the 661, you could add a few little red highlights. You got a red, kind of red lettering, anodized stuff already on that. You could add a few little red parts. It would actually just make it, go even better. But I can tell you right now, this would be a little machine, and it feels, this is a little 522 SUL, very light rod. So all you're really feeling, it feels like I've got the reel in my hand. I can't even feel the rod. The weight of the rod is like not even there. So it does feel very good. With that, once I get a lightweight spool in it, this is a creek and stream killer. But although the very capable rod, I'm going to try it once that other rod comes in because I think that it'll look better. But this would be awesome too. And I'm sure there's several of you guys out there who probably have this exact setup and can, definitely get your BFS on. All right, is that it? Do we want to talk about anything else? Anybody? Somebody? I know I want to put that on, but we'll wait. We'll wait. We got to save something for later. I wish I could get, but I don't know. You guys comment. What do you think? I think it made it. This is just a 5-star, and that's a 6-star, and they are bigger. I think it made it. I think it's better. I'm gonna leave it on. Definitely gonna leave that on, but then I'm gonna have to fine tune, figure out which handle. Definitely a thicker one because these the carbon fiber ones, some of them are thicker. Those ones I just got are thick enough. They look pretty good. So I'll probably wait. I got 3 more of those ordered. So I'll probably put one of those, once I get it cut, stick one of those on it. And yeah, we'll go from there. But I'm thinking I like the gold. It depends once I put the spool. We'll have to see what color, because the spools are crazy color different on some of them. Like That's gold. This is gold. Look how different they are. So we'll kind of go with what the spool, and I may only have, I may not have enough. Whatever gold will match it, I'll put what will match on. But if these knobs are way too funny colored gold to match, but I don't know, sometimes a two-tone gold looks good too. We'll see. I'm anxious. I'll get out. I don't know when the weather's supposed to start turning nasty tomorrow before I get off work. I didn't make it home in time tonight. I would have unboxed it sooner and got out and done some casting. But I'm definitely happy, and thank you very much again, TJ, and you guys be looking forward to me fishing it. Do I stay happy? Is there any issues? It shouldn't be any issues with it. Should not be any issues with this reel. I just put it off forever on getting one because I got this. This is the best that, even though this is more expensive, basically performance-wise, out of Shimano's camp that you can get. It's at one time I was crazy about the lightest, smallest stuff, and this is still it. But then I'm kind of, as I'm getting older, I turned 50, and remember, sometimes it's the nice things in life. And I have to admit, there's nothing nicer in life, BFS life right now, than this reel. This reel's close. I like this reel. I still like the castability of this reel. And as I get out of here, I forgot to mention anything about what I just did. I did some testing yesterday. I didn't tell you guys about it. I don't think I didn't do a live or anything. The last testing I did was with, I believe, this with an SV spool and all these other reels, and then this guy. And I said I was let down. This guy did at that time, and I still don't know what happened, what changed, but I had the line still on this one, so I went out yesterday. And this one was like a whole different reel. I don't know if you can see where I finally ended up setting it. I want to say that's 3.5, I think. For whatever reason, when I was trying to cast it in that shootout with the others, I was having to turn it up, and it just wasn't working right. It was getting up there, but for what it is, with that lighter spool, it should have done better. Well, it redeemed itself yesterday, but I still can't, you cannot get with that 1.7 gram where the Black Knight 2 or this guy get. And this guy still cannot quite get where the Black Knight 2. You're only talking within like inches. It's not as easy to cast as the Black Knight 2. And I think it's the whole line guide deal is what I've kind of came down to now. I think just the difference in line guide when you're talking real lightweight. But this guy came close. They still struggle, though, all of them. When you go to that 4-gram bait, remember that? It still didn't really improve over that. But I was definitely more impressed, and it definitely showed that it's a very good reel. And like I've talked about, the only thing that really changed, though, when I put that spool in is, to me, felt like I have less issues with casting into the wind pretty hard and having it backlash on me. It felt like it improved that. But it redeemed itself. While I was out there, though, I got this spool going. And if you remember right, that SV boost is no joke. I'm just telling you right now. It didn't quite meet up to where the others are, but these are BFS reels, right? Spools. Well, I got this one. This is $13. And I shared the link in that unboxing to this, the handle, or all those there. I'm not going to share them in this video. But if you're wanting this, which I highly recommend all of it, if you've got a zillion, you can get, for $30, basically $16, you get this spool tension cap and the drag star for 16 something. I think it's still that cheap. And the link is in that other video. Look for that unboxing. I think it was the mystery reel unboxing, and this stuff came in. But then this spool is only $13 and something. But here's a downfall, because it's a little sketchy. But I still recommend it. I had to take mine apart, but I didn't have to. I thought I had to. I had to dismantle that. And if you've ever tried to take that apart, that is no joke. Getting it back together is the hard part. There's a little C-clip there. You guys have heard me talk about those C-clips. I hate a C-clip. It's only fitting that my name, Charlie, starts with a C, and C-clips are my nemesis. But I had to pop that out, and I'm going to show you why. Hopefully it didn't fall back apart. Mine, right out of the box, you guys may have even watched it in unboxing, because I turned it, and it kept turning funny. Well, they use, I don't know, maybe they don't in China because they don't use glue on hardly anything else, but you're supposed to have this rotor glued to the plastic part in there, if you guys can make out in there. So it's like ramped up, right? Well, the plastic is supposed to be glued to this. Mine wasn't glued, but really you don't have to take that apart to glue it. You will need to figure out how to get glue in there if yours is unglued. And what's weird is I was out there casting mine with no issues, and when I came back in, I realized it was basically like a fixed rotor. It was stuck out. It comes out even further. And I don't know, I can't explain why, but when that was happening, I had to have the brakes way up. Like now, if you look, if you remember right, between 2 and 3 with the SV boost spool, and then right there, is that 4 even? I think that's 4 even is where it likes it with this spool. And you can still cast pretty hard. But once I fixed it, just gluing it, and I didn't cast forever, but I did quite a few more casts as hard as I could kind of thing. And it seems to be, you know, seems to be pretty good now. And it's a pretty good spool. It's kind of heavy, but it works. The bait we were throwing, if you remember right, was this guy. And this guy. They're getting beat up now. I gained, even though the SV boost spool does do pretty good, I gained a couple feet with this spool on this bait. But I probably is better than that, like, because I was throwing just the line we were throwing on all the others. Once I actually put that about half or 3/4, basically whatever an MGL 30 holds, that's what I got over here that I'm going to put on this V boost spool and leave. It'll probably lose a little bit when it comes to throwing something this light. This, you know, with that same line, which is about as much as you want to run on this spool, you could get by with a little bit more. We were gaining a few feet. So it was going not to the middle, it was, I would say 55 feet. This was, the SV boost was going somewhere between 51 to, it was kind of right there with this guy, I think. I was casting a lot of reels. So it's not up there with the Lingle, and definitely not up there with all the others. Shimano, the Aldebaran with the light spool, or the Black Knight 2 Dark Wolf Ultra. But for $13, I mean, it throws you in, and this will fit any, because if you guys remember right, the Zillion, we talked about that all the older Zillions, like all the spools interchange. So if you have this Zillion, TD Ito, whatever, that spool will fit. And they come in a few different colors. For $13, man, it's hard to pass up. I gave, basically for the same thing, was $50. Just a few years back, I bought a purple one for the TD Ito. They've gotten a lot cheaper because of technology. Now you can get the lightweight ones that are like $50, $60. So if you're just wanting to cheaply upgrade your Zillion, whether you have this one, whatever, now you need to double check. There's a couple, the Zillion CT. Back in the day, there was another Zillion that had even a bigger, I want to say 36 millimeters, 30, I don't know. There's something different. There's a few Zillions that it doesn't fit, but most of your Zillions, these spools will fit. And look on that other video, the unboxing of the mystery BFS reel has a link to it if you want to get one of those. In the worst case, you'll have to glue that plastic piece back on, which I would recommend going in through here some way and not, because when it comes unglued, this actually pulls out more, and you can almost see where it's supposed to be glued. So you could get glue in there, even if you have to put it on like a toothpick, put glue around, and then push it down. That's all you have to do is push it down, let it dry, and it's good to go before you take that apart. Don't ever plan on actually pulling one of those off again. It was hard to get on. So, but when it comes to this still struggles. Nothing, and it's funny how it's only 4 grams, like a 4-gram bait, the BFS reels. Now, I have to do it once I put all my line back on, but that SV boost can still cast this better than almost all of them. But this Aldebaran kicked in, and I could spool it. What's funny is, the other day, it was struggling, and I don't know why. It's like I had to turn up the brakes or it'd backlash. When I got the brakes turned back down right around where they should be, which I think is like 3.5, that tends to be where a lot of these are set at. I was actually spooling that, which made sense with that little, it's 4 grams, and I was zinging it, and it was zinging. It was going into the, you know, the back to the leader material, within a rotation or two of being all the line off and hitting the sidewalk, just past the sidewalk, which is basically what the SV Boost was doing. And my other reels, even the Lingle, the Dark Wolf Ultra, Black Knight 2, like they could hit close to that, but they couldn't. They were hitting the edge of the sidewalk, just on the other side of the road. They weren't, basically going on the other side, an extra, say, 3 to 5 feet. Once again, stating why that is what I call a, and I've always said that about this, it's more of a all around BFS reel. It'll throw the little stuff, it'll zing out those bigger BFS size baits, like it'll do it all. Now this guy will, but I don't know what was up with him, as far as I would have thought he would have also been able to spool it easy enough with this. But if you guys remember right, my hands were cold. That was a whole different atmosphere and day. I need to wait. If one of these weekends I get a good Saturday or Sunday where it's warm, I plan on doing a lot of different testing. You guys may not see it, but hopefully by now you guys know to take my word for it. And I try to show some of it when I can. But it's almost just, you get out there and you can't see anything. You got to listen to what I say anyway, because like, you can't tell where the bait's landing, and I take you out there. Like, it could easily be like rigged up if I wanted it to, you know what I mean? I have one of the kids hiding by my truck and be like, hey, when I cast there, I'm going to turn, you grab it and go run it across the street, and we're going to talk about how good this one can cast, So it's not like that. It's just, I don't know. I think we're better served by talking about it here and me wasting my time getting my hands almost froze off, and maybe just showing you a little bit of it now that you've got the gist on how I do it by all the other casting videos that are out there. So anyway, look forward to, I don't even know what to do as far as on the Curado BFS and the other Lingle variant. December 20th is the last tracking update. It says that I have 30 more days before I can like file a dispute or, request a refund. But I got that $200 rod, the $175 Curado, I think that's at the time. The $62, actually, the other reel is pretty, still on there, listed for sale. If you guys want one of those, Kingdom, just search BFS bait casting reel and maybe type in Kingdom, but it'll pop up, and it looks more or less black, red spool. It looks more like just a black Steez. And I think they're only like $65 by the time the shipping. I'm waiting to get one before I'll be able to tell you guys if what I think of them. Are they as good as this or not? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. It's supposed to have a lighter spool though, for sure. But that one, that rod is two, three. I got like $500 of stuff just sitting since the 20th. Today's what, the 13th? Yeah, it's been a while. But we got a lot of other stuff, and I do have other stuff coming. And while we were talking about the chatterbaits, was I talking about the chatterbaits? Yeah, using the TRD bugs for the little micros. I've also trying to up my game again. I went on AliExpress, and I can't recommend any of them because they're not here yet. I tried one chatterbait from AliExpress a couple years ago. Horrible. I actually have the head to it here. I was using to cast with that lunker hunt. This thing had that, it was a breakaway, kind of like the chatterbait Freedoms, and it was a cheap chatterbait, and it showed it. I don't know if I ever caught a fish on that chatterbait from AliExpress, but I started searching and I found other ones. Not necessarily try to replace my half-ounce Z-Man original or the customs, but smaller, like maybe an in-between, or just one that's close to as good. But I found they're for like $2 to $5. I've got a few different sizes coming in. They look like they got the heads like you want. You want the, you don't want anything free swinging, more or less like just like a Z-Man original or those micros we've been using, but they are bigger. I can't find, there's none that small as the flashbacks and the micros, but there's like an in-between, and I got a couple different skirts and stuff like that. So that'll be coming. We'll be able to get a look at them anyway. Won't be able to really test them until it thaws out around here. But those are coming. The forever rods and rod and 2 reels that will never get here. What else? Oh, I've got some of the other Meredith swim baits. I've talked about those before. You guys, they're in older videos. I was going to make another kind of a big buy on those, like $25-30 worth. I'm just kind of waiting. I don't need them right away. So roughly around the time I think they'll get here, by the time the season's starting, I'll probably make that order. And what else? That's it. I think that's over an hour. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned. We're going to get this bad boy out and see what I think on casting. We're going to put this bad boy back in here until the bad boy makes it in. And then this may just be a very lightweight paperweight. But it goes better with our stuff right at the moment, right? But that SV boost spool, I may end up getting another one of these. Maybe $280 Digitaka. I may get one more. Kind of like I did with the Lingo. I have one with the SV boost spool for covering my bigger stuff, and then one with probably that other spool that's the $54 spool for, you know, my true taking it to the creeks and streams. Of course, I can always switch back and forth. You know me. It's cooler to have two, right? I'm not getting two of these. This is the only one of these you're going to see me own. These cost enough money. I'm only needing one because all these other reels will get the job done just like this one will. This one will look cooler doing it, right? You guys know you want to see a picture of a little bass about this big right beside this thing sitting there, just like this. Let's do a little mock setup here. I'm out there on the stream, and then here's that little bass I just caught with my cool reel, right? You guys know the pictures. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm out of here. I got to go get something to eat. How'd she... Brew Tank Outdoors, his wife's going to ban me from watching this channel when the credit card bill comes in. I didn't tell anybody to go buy this. I haven't even tested it yet. It is a good reel, though. Hard to pass up. And it does look crazy small once you get it. Like even in the pics or somebody holding it. This side, what's funny is it has a side, because it has like a side plate of a 50 and then this side of 100. When you're looking at it like this, it's hard to tell. You're like, oh man, that's pretty big. But then when you grab it, it feels little. And then when you look at this side, it looks little. It's pretty weird how they've done that, and it works. Very good. Very good reel. I don't know. I can't recommend anybody. You cannot do anything with this that you can't do with this. Is all I'm going to say. But you will look cooler doing it with this. But then there's this. If you get one, why not get everything? You need two of everything. I like this one right here. I like all these reels about the same. The main reason I really like these reels is because it only took me $70 to like them. These reels are pretty, I mean, nowhere near the quality. But the feel, they actually feel good. They feel way better than any cheaper reel back in the day. Like this reel, I can kind of feel it. It's not bad, don't get me wrong. It's not horrible, but this has that feel of, I can tell, you know, under $100 reel that, you know, is just not very great. But I'll be honest, these, the newer batches coming out, this Lingle, if you remember right, this one that was all, I think it was this one. It may have been the other one. Well, one of these I had forever that when I first got it was geary sounding because it didn't have any oil or grease. I took it apart and greased the gears, and it's been as smooth and just feels good. There's no, it's not any, everything feels good. Everything feels, tolerances feel tight. There's like that fine line between feels tight but loose, you know, free but not wobbly kind of thing. And these have it. Both, all the Lingle things so far, you know, even the Black Knights, the only issue we had, remember the spool shaft, the little fix I had to do on that. If you guys remember my thread, comes that little C-clip again, like a little clip that holds that on. So as soon as you pull it out, like how are you going to get it back on? I just put a little thread in there, push it in with the pin puller deal, and fixed it. Add the little magnets. I know, it sounds like a lot. But really, once you get it figured out, it's not that hard to And then, but for how these will cast, wow. How light and how they'll palm and how they can just flat cast lightweight baits. Make it so much easier. All right, I'm out of here for sure now. Thanks for watching, guys. And I don't know. Put that credit card up. I don't know what to tell you. I paid cash for mine.